Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about MCQ multiple choice questions on your molting and ecdysis. So without wasting time, let's begin. So as you can see, the first question is the mechanism of setting up of old cuticle and formation of new cuticle is known as. That means whatever the old cuticle was there, that is removed and a new one is formed underneath that. This process is known as what? You see, apolysis, molting, stadium, melanization. So it is very easy. The answer is your what? Molting or ecdysis. Next point you see, the insect which molts throughout their life cycle is known as what? Ametabolous, hemimetabolous, porometabolous or helometabolous. In general, what happens? These are your what? Your pterygota orders. Yes or no? Pterygota, huh? Pterygota. These are what your ametabolous means pterygota, huh? Here only 4 orders are there. Okay. In this case, what happens? You see, they don't have any kind of pupal stage. Okay, particular pupal stage. Only the body growth will happen. So in case of ametabolous, that is your 4 orders. What are those? Thysonura. Okay. Then your Protura, then Collembola, then your Diplura. These are the orders where what will happen throughout the life cycle, their molting will happen. Okay, this is very, very important. Huh? These are what your pterygota orders. Okay, for them only in the larval stages your molting will happen. But in case of Epterygota ametabolous insect, throughout the life cycle their molting will happen. Next. In case of mayflies, how many times they molt? Okay, how many times? That is your 30 times. In general, in normal insect, what happens? Maybe 5 to 10 times they may molt. Okay, but in case of mayflies, what will happen? They may molt up to 30 times. Next, you see in case of silverfills, molts how many times? What is the answer? You see that is your 60 times. That means you see as they are the Epterygota or ametabolous insect. That's why what happens? Throughout the life cycle they will undergo molting. That's why the number is very high. That is your 60 times. Next you see the old cuticle which is set up of in the process of molting is known as what? That means suppose one insect is there and the old skin is removed. Huh? This old skin is known as what? That is known as what? Your exuvium. Exuvium is the correct answer. Next you see the body form between egg stage and post molting and 2 subsequent molting is known as what? That means suppose this is the egg, from this a larva came. From this the larva grown. From this the larva grown. Yes or no? So the stage, yes or no, the body form or the stage, this one, this body form or the stage present in between egg and post molting and subsequent molting is known as what? This is known as what? Your Instar. Option C is your right answer. The interval between 2 subsequent molting is known as what? The answer is your what? All of you know. Answer is your option D. That is your stadium. Okay. You see, somewhat speedily I am going because if you want to know the things properly, the link for the particular topic is already there in the description box. You can go and watch that one. Before starting a molting, insects, what they do? They dances, or they eat too much, or they stop feeding, or they fly away to forest. So here the answer is your what? Option C. In general they stop their feeding process. Next, the process of separation of epidermis from the cuticle is known as what? Your option B is your right answer. That is your what? Apolysis. What is ecdysis? What is instar? What is stadium? These things are there in the video. That is, the link is there in the description box. Next, the epidermis is separated from the cuticle, giving rise to a narrow space after apolysis is known as what? That means you see epidermis was there, basement membrane is there, cuticle is there. So in between these two, what will happen? A space will be created. Yes or no? So this space is known as what? This space is known as what? Your subcuticular space, otherwise known as apophyseal membrane. Okay, option A is your right answer. Subcuticular space, that means below cuticle, subcuticle, subcuticular space or apophyseal membrane. Next you see, molting fluid contains dense and dense enzymes. Very, very important. You see, the answer is your what? Option A, proteinase and chitinase. Very, very important. But in the process of apolysis, they are inactive. But in the process of ecdysis, they will be active. Next, the exuvium get ruptured near which suture? Whether epistomal, hypostomal, epicranial, or your protogenal suture. So the option is your what? Option C, epicranial suture. Very, very important. That is a inverted Y-shaped suture present near the head region. Here the front will be there. Here clypeus, here labrum, mandible and all will be there. This sorry, I have drawn it wrongly. That would be what? Inverted Y-shape. Okay, inverted Y-shape. I have done mistakenly inverted Y-shape. Okay, epicranial suture. This is also known as what? Your ecdysial line or line of weakness. This is also, remember, ecdysial line or line of weakness through which ecdysis will happen. One more thing is important here. What is this epistomal suture? The suture present in between frons and clypeus is known as what? Your epistomal suture. This is important. You see, exuvium is the combination of which layers? This is important. This particular exuvium is there. That is the combination of which layers? The right answer is your what? Option A, old epicuticle and old exocuticle. Because endocuticle will be digested in the process. So what is left? Old epicuticle and old exocuticle makes your exuvium, which will be removed in the process of molting. Next, hardening of the cuticle is known as what? All of you know the answer is your option C, that is your sclerotization. Next question you see, conversion of arthropod into sclerotin is known as what? That is known as what? Your tanning. Understood? Maximum sclerotization occurs in which stage? You see, which one? Mesonotum of adults, this is also correct. Mandibles of caterpillar, this is also correct. Both and B, so this is correct. Yes or no? Abdomen, that is wrong answer. So option C will be your what? Right answer. Both and B. Mesonotum of adults, that means thorax, head is there, thorax is there. In the thorax, prothorax, mesothorax, metathorax. So this upper portion is known as what? Notum. So mesonotum, here highest sclerotization happens. And mandibles, in case of caterpillars or larvae also, highest sclerotization will happen. Okay, so both option C, both A and B will be the correct answer. Next, darkening of the cuticle is known as what? Your option D, that is your melanization. No need to tell. Okay, then DASH amino acid is responsible for darkening of the cuticle. Which amino acid? The answer is your option A, tyrosine. Tyrosine is the amino acid responsible for darkening of the cuticle. Next you see, DASH layer of the cuticle is formed fast during the molting process. Which cuticular layer formed fast in the molting process? Which layer? That is your option D, cuticulin layer. That's why it is known as what? Your growth barrier, under which only whatever the expansion will happen, that will happen. Okay. Next question you see, DASH layer of the cuticle is formed last during the molting process. Which layer? That is your option A, that is your cement layer. So the first one is cuticulin and the last one is your what? Cement layer. Okay. DASH hormone is responsible for retaining juvenility in insect. Answer will be your what? Juvenile hormone. Next, DASH hormone is responsible for initiation of molting in insect. So here the answer will be your what? Your molting hormone. DASH hormone is responsible for removal of old cuticle during the molting in insect. Which one? Removal of the old cuticle, that will be your what? Option B. Your, here the spelling is wrong, you see, that is eclosion hormone. Eclosion, okay, eclosion hormone. Okay, not eclosion, that is your eclosion hormone. Option B will be your right answer. Eclosion hormone responsible for easy removal of the old cuticle. Next you see, DAS hormone is responsible for hardening of the cuticle, that means sclerotization of the cuticle. So here the answer will be your what? Option D, that is your borsicon hormone. So here you see one more important point is there in this question. You see tyrosine was there, amino acid. Tyrosine will become dopa, yes or no? Dopa will become dopamine, yes or no? Dopamine will become N-acetyl dopamine, okay? Then N-acetyl dopamine will become quinone, yes or no? This is very, very important. You see the question may come, DAS is responsible for darkening of the cuticle. DAS is responsible for darkening of the cuticle. So the answer will be your what? Quinone is responsible for, the spelling is quinone, Q-U-I-N-O-N-E. Quinone is responsible for darkening of the cuticle. That means what is the relationship? More the quinone component, okay, more is the darker will be the cuticle, okay, directly proportional to your darkening effect, okay. So here you see these are some of the important questions related to your what? Molting process. I hope this video will be useful for you and informative for you, which may be helpful for different exams. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.
अच्छा सुनो, सब्सक्राइब करते वक्त ना घंटी बजा देना, ताकि जब मैं ऑनलाइन आऊँ तो तुम्हारे फोन की भी घंटी बजे।